The Outhouse Story. This is the story of how I got a reputation as the family genius. This is the Lincoln Memorial, and if you stand there at the feet of the Lincoln Memorial and look up, you feel like you're looking up at God. This is my grandpa Toops kind of doing his impression of the Lincoln Memorial. And when I was a kid, he was a lot older than he is in this picture, but he was really tall. And if I stood there at his feet and looked up, I felt like I was looking up at God. This is his house. It's not really his house. His house is maybe a little bit better than this, but it's this little tiny house out in the middle of nowhere. I didn't even have running water, electricity, and if you wanted to get a drink, you had to use the water pump. You pump up and down on that handle. And usually you had to pump it several times, and then the water would just come gushing out. Kind of amazing, really. And these were his bees, man. My grandpa loved bees. He had these wooden boxes full of honeybees, and man, he had a lot of these, a lot of bees. There was a whole area of his little property, his little acreage, where I was afraid to even go there for fear of all those bees. This was his outhouse. No running water. He had to have an outhouse, and man, I hated it. I mean, geez, an outhouse, and man, it was kind of stinky and hot in there, and there were wasps. There were wasps living in the white. I mean, he'd try to clean them out of there, every couple of days. He'd knock them down with a broom or something, and then they'd come back. There's something about an outhouse that must attract wasps. I mean, you could be sitting there, doing your business, and you'd look up and you'd see these wasps in the corner trying to build a nest. Man, that was terrifying to me. I especially hated having to go to the outhouse at night when it's dark. My grandpa, I think he was sort of trying to help me out, and he bought a flashlight. I mean, he didn't need a flashlight when he went to the outhouse, but he bought a special. And I was only going to be there a week, so I kind of think he bought it for himself. But what he said is he bought it for me. It was a really long flashlight, the kind that hold like 3 batteries. His grandpa's flashlight. And everybody told me be real, real careful when you use it. But as a kid, and it's kind of a fun thing to use a flashlight, and I'm shining it all around in the dark yard, looking for, like, maybe I can find a raccoon or something. And well, eventually I got into the outhouse, and I'm doing my business. It had 2 holes. I had the one with the seat, and if you had to go number 2, that you use that one. And if you're just going to go number 1, you could just pee into the other hole. So I'm doing number 2. So I'm sitting there, and there's not a lot to do in an outhouse in the middle of the night. I'm trying not to think about the wasps or anything like that. And I get all done. Everything goes okay, and I stand up, and I'm trying to hike up my pants. And the thing is, I need both hands, and so I set the flashlight down there, and I maybe I bumped the flashlight. I don't really know what happened, and damn, it just fell right into the other hole. It just dropped into that outhouse hole. I don't know if you've ever looked down into one of those holes. It's like 6, 7 feet down. There's like slime and putrid. It's just horrible what's down there. And the flashlight is like it's like embedded itself in this slimy poop stuff, and it's still shining. It's just the light it's so far. It's like 6 feet down. There's no way I can get it. I don't know what to do. And so I go back out. I gotta go back to my grandpa's house, and I gotta tell him, and he's in there, and the truth is I chickened out. I did not have the guts to, I didn't have the intestinal fortitude to tell my grandpa what I had done to his brand new flashlight. So I told my parents, and they were not happy with me, and they told my grandpa and my grandma, and all of us. We'd go out there, and we'd look, and there it is, way down there, and it's way too far. I mean, how are you going to get it? It's too far down, and it's horrible. And and then my brother found out about it, and of course he thought it was hilarious, and my cousins all found out about it, what Gary did to Grandpa's flashlight. And it seemed like after a while, even my girl cousins found out. It's like all the layers of the family came and looked and went to the outhouse, and took a look at the flashlight. And man, it took like a week for those batteries to run out. The light got a little dimmer and a little dimmer and a little dimmer, and finally went out. And that's the story of Grandpa's flashlight and how I got my reputation as the family genius.